Well, it's a joy to have you here, to have you all here. And this is a very special satsang for us. I better set my timer here so we can stay on schedule. We are celebrating a number of things. Obviously, the new temple this is our first opportunity to go up into the new temple space. It's not a new temple yet. It's a new temple shell or structure or the place where the new temple will live. But just as Dharmini was saying, many hands will make the miracle that will make it into a temple. And just as this temple, if you had seen it before, well, let's just say it didn't look like this until we all came together and made it into a temple. In fact, what we're going to do in a little bit is watch excerpts of the video of our dedication of this temple. And for one thing, it'll help to, for history's sake, if you haven't seen this video before, it's out there on YouTube, but also it'll help you see not only the past, but perhaps the future. Because in the similar way, we will be dedicating the new temple. And so in terms of being able to, what is this November 19th going to look like? Well, something like this, just on a larger scale. And so we sang that song, Many Hands Make a Miracle. And Swamiji wrote that song in response to somebody's question. They said, Swamiji, we have so many songs about this path from you, about the spirit of Ananda, and so many of them, for example, one of them is walk like a man even though you walk alone. You know, why court approval once the road is known? Let come who will, but if they all turn home, your soul knows the answer, go on alone. And that's a very important song. He said it's one of the theme songs of Ananda. It's important for people to know on the spiritual path. There will be challenges. There may be challenges from friends, from near and dear, saying, why are you wasting time doing that? And if you know what's right for you, just do it. And in time they will see that, well, you're happier and you speak more softly and you're more patient and maybe you cook a little something special, and so then they're fine and they're at peace. So they won't mind too much. But really we're going to God. And we have to understand that as much as we get help from one another, we still have to make that journey ourselves. We have to put one foot in front of the other. Swamiji was so clear on, and I mention Swamiji always, but particularly because next weekend is close to his discipleship anniversary, the day he met Master. September 12th is the actual day. And so we thought, for a few satsangs, we would also be talking about Swamiji and weaving that theme in, especially today. Because with Swamiji and Master meeting, it really is the spark that has built all of this that we're enjoying today and throughout the whole world. In a fun way, we can think of it not exactly like this, but it's almost like our parents' wedding anniversary. You know, you have that thought, not the wedding part, but you have that thought of, from these two, so the whole family has come. And it's the same way with Swamiji and Master, that, of course, Master was an avatar. Master had and has the power of God with him fully, and he's fully here. I mean, if we're building a temple for him, do you think he's going to be busy elsewhere on that day? Of course not. I mean, there was a story of one of Master's disciples praying to him after his passing, and Sri Yukteswar appeared to the disciple and said, I'm sorry, Yoganandaji's busy right now. Can I help you with something? But if somebody prays too hard to Master on November 19th, Sri Yukteswar will also have to send someone else and say, sorry, we're all in Chennai this evening. So pray tomorrow and we'll get back to you. Because ipo Chennai le. And so this thought of Swamiji holding so closely to Master's teachings, including the teaching of Master saying you have to individually make love to God. You have to yourself offer your heart, your openness to God. That's the point. God will only come in to the extent that we open. And we shouldn't say, yeah. We should say, yeah. You see? Open more and more, because it's all the joy that there is, just as Swamiji was saying in the affirmation words that we were reading. But someone said to Swamiji, even though we're going on alone, we're sort of going on alone together, as a friend of mine said, being solitary is much easier when you're sharing your solitude with someone else. You can go on alone. You're here too, right? Yeah. We will go on alone. And in many ways we feel that way together. That someone was saying to me recently, I feel like I've always been the weird one in my family and no one has understood me. And we use the expression sometimes the black sheep of the family, as opposed to all the white sheep. There's one black sheep that just doesn't fit in. And if you don't feel you're the black sheep, you might interview the family members and see what they think. But anyway, what we find here is that all the black sheep get together. And here everybody fits then. If you want God. And that's a big thing. And you should celebrate that. Because Swamiji said, when I asked him, did Master envision everyone who read Autobiography of a Yogi that they would eventually take Kriya? And Swamiji said, oh no. Of course not, basically. He didn't say of course not, but it was as if to say, how can you ask such a dumb question? But I didn't understand. Why? I mean, to me, Autobiography of a Yogi means Kriya Yoga. And he didn't say, because, you have to meditate 90 minutes, and the people in level 4, yeah, I know, preparing for Kriya. And it didn't say because, the technique and who is spiritually ready and look at past lives. No, he said very few people actually want God. And so, because you do, and feel that what Master said when one disciple said, I don't think I have very good karma, Master said it takes very, very, very good karma, even to want to know God. Now, how do we know Master said that? Because Swamiji told us. Swamiji was there when Master told that disciple, Norman, it takes very, very, very good karma to want God. I do remember, I have to just mention, Swamiji in one of his lectures quoted this story to the audience. And then he said, you have that karma because you're here tonight in the audience. But it was sort of a mixed group. He said, I would say you have very good karma. Maybe not very, very, but very. If you want God, then very, 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 very good karma. And so we have to just be so glad. Because that is something, the desire for God, the desire to want to meditate, the desire to feel that this makes sense as a way forward in life, no one can teach you. As Swamiji said, it's the most frustrating thing when trying to share these teachings, that the most necessary ingredient for learning, which is the desire, you can't impart, you can't teach. The crucial things, an understanding inside, taking the truth into your heart, an attunement, a realization, following the masters, that will help you. That you just have to have or not have. Everybody develops it over time, of course, so it's not a question of that, but it just has to come from within. So thank yourself, thank God, thank your past lives. I sometimes imagine all my past lives behind me sort of sitting there kind of like, do you know what we went through to get you this far? And there's one arm missing and half a leg and just like, come on, just keep going for our sake. And so it's a credit to you how you have gotten here this far and how much farther we are going together. And that's what happened. Swamiji was asked by this person, Durga. She said, can we have a song for the community also? Because walk like a man and, truth can never die and, laugh at anyone else, not laugh, but ignore anyone else who laughs at you and I am alone with God and in the valley of sorrow 1,000 years until tomorrow, but I'll wait just for you. What a community also. And so Swamiji said this song just came to him immediately. And he wrote this song, Many Hands Make a Miracle. And it's a wonderful song that way. Singing it as a group as we did is wonderful. And singing it in a choir with different parts even. All the different parts go together. As Dharmini was saying, we have a wonderful work to do here for God. And it's so nice to be able to be a part of it at this time. Because there are certain moments where we are able to express and able to serve and able to give to God and give back to God in the way that we have received. Of course, we could do it constantly, but it's nice when it can take form. And this is just the time that has been chosen. It wasn't, we had different ideas of when this might happen, but then it came about at this time, and it's all coming together, at this time, because this is what God wants. We're building it for God, God's building it through us. We're building it for Master, He's building it through us. And there'll be different ways, which we'll talk about a little bit today, in how we'll build it together. But the main thing is to feel, first of all, we need a larger home for our family. The Kriya initiations are just getting too crowded. Our big events are getting to be too crowded. And also we need more room for classes, because we're sort of like, okay, your class is from 12:30 to 1:30. Your class can start at 1:15, and just walk over the people who are still in the other class and just say, no, excuse me, I'm going to my class. And, it's just getting too crowded schedule-wise and space-wise. But also to have a place, of course, the more room for yoga postures, energization, all that, but also to have a place for new people to come and to be able to appreciate and experience and have a large temple to do it in. Of course, this temple will be here too. And you can understand that on one level if you came to this temple first, meaning not before. Because this temple was just always here, right? No, it wasn't at all. And any of the old-timers, to use the phrase, can tell you, look, anyway, like I said, we have pictures of it, but we decided not to show them just so no one would faint. But in that same way, just as those who helped build this temple that we're in, so we will be building the next temple. And it'll be wonderful for then somebody who comes to level 1 on December 1st, just like, yes, where do I put the chapels? Yeah, new temple, sure. You have a temple, great. It's always been here, right? And you can say, let me tell you. And don't show them the photos either. Anyway, we'll see. It's still definitely a work in progress. But the point is, a temple is not made out of bricks or steel or even carpet, although we like the carpet. But it's made out of love, consciousness, disciples, spiritual family brought together. That's what electrifies the temple, energizes the temple, makes it feel the way it does. So much so that when we were moving to this temple from the original center in Alwarpet, which was just a 3 BHK, there were Kriya initiations there. There were a lot of wonderful things, acharyas who had come from far to be there. It was a lively, energized place. And as soon as we took the pictures of the masters down and we walked, in the middle of the night through down Anasalai and so on, people asked, you chose 4 a.m. because of Brahma Muhurtam, and we said no, we just thought there'd be less traffic, and so we're more likely to live as we walked across that the vibration, we went back to the center and the vibration was just gone. It just felt like a box, like a room. And it was strange, because I thought, no, the vibration lives in the walls, and the floor and the ceiling. It must still have that glow, and it just didn't. And we lived there. So it wasn't as if we, weren't familiar with the place. It wasn't just some box, but it was. And I asked Agnel, too, because he went there to do some painting and repair work before we gave it back to the landlord. He said, it's just nothing now. It wasn't that it was bad, but the masters had moved to CIT Nagar. The nice thing here is that we're not moving from this temple. We get to keep this temple as well as having that temple. So we don't have to do that part. But our vibration, our love, and God's vibration, bringing Master's vibration through our intention, will help to build and energize this new temple.